Hello, welcome to the Flute 360 podcast, where we incorporate a panoramic view of flute-related topics. I am your host, Heidi K. Begay, and this is episode 17, where we talk about cover letters. Today's episode is sponsored by J&K Productions. They produce all of my episodes, from adding the intro and outro music to editing the audio and all post-production needs. Contact them for your next podcast project at jkproductions.media. Hey everyone! This episode launches Series 4, where we talk about the job application process. So we are going to start off this series with the cover letter. Before we get to that, I just want to say quickly that when you are applying to different job positions, make sure that you are applying to jobs that are well suited for you. Apply to positions that fit your credentials well. These applications are quite time-consuming for both parties, so it's best to not waste your time or theirs by applying to a job that you know does not fit well with your training or education. Now, let's talk about the cover letters. I'll try to be super brief about this so it's easy to follow. Before we get to the cover letters setup, here are a few general suggestions. The first suggestion is make sure you sound like yourself. I'm doing air quotes around the word sound. You can't see me, but make sure you sound like yourself. Second general suggestion is that the cover letter comes as a package with the resume or CV. Third, keep the cover letter brief. You only need about 3 to 4 paragraphs. Fourth, make sure you tailor the cover letter to the specific job you are applying to. And fifth, follow instructions. Follow what the search committee wants per your application. Now, onto the details of the cover letter. For the setup, make sure you have your contact information readily available for the search committee. In today's day and age, you probably want to consider adding your website address too if it shows your portfolio. Recently, my friend and I were applying to some positions, and as we were writing out the mailing address, I remember we were curious whether or not to include the physical address. It seemed a little outdated, so we asked one of our Texas Tech professors, and she said, err on the side of professionalism. I think that was great advice. Next in the letter will be the business's contact information. After that, the salutation. A great example is Dear Search Committee, : Since it's following a business letter format, you would want to use a colon versus a comma. If you know the person's name who is head of the search committee, you can use that instead. If you go that route, make sure you research their title: Doctor, Professor, Mr., Mrs., Miss, etc. Now, the 3 to 4 paragraphs. The introduction of the cover letter could be about 1 or 2 sentences long. In this section, you could consider telling them how you heard of the job position. Also, you could consider stating why you are interested in that position. The middle section is designed to tell the committee why you are suited for said position. Avoid the language, I think I'm suited for the position because ... Instead, show your confidence. I am suited for the position because. Whatever you state within this section, make sure that it's relevant and tangible. Last, the conclusion. The conclusion and the introduction can most likely remain the same for each job you apply to. Also, you could consider restating your contact information within the conclusion for the interview. You might not want to state that you will call them because basically you are at the mercy of the search committee. All in all, leave the committee with a good sense of who you are. Good luck with the application process, and if you have any cover letters that you'd like for me to review, please feel free to email me at heidikbegay@gmail.com or my website at heidikbegay.com. Please inquire about my editing services and I will respond with my rates. Have a great day, and until next time. Today's episode is sponsored by J&K Productions. They produce all of my episodes, from adding the intro and outro music to editing the audio and all post-production needs. Contact them for your next podcast project at jkproductions.media. Thank you for listening to the Flute 360 podcast. For more information, please visit heidikbegay.com. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please rate and review in the iTunes store. Let's talk about Flute.